What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Arrival Entertainment, and today we are going to be talking about the new film from 20th Century Studios, Free Guy. Free Guy stars Ryan Reynolds, and it's a new action comedy from 20th Century Studios, or Disney, whatever you want to call it. And it tells the story of this video game player Guy, played by Ryan Reynolds, who befriends and kind of falls in love with this female video game player, who eventually discovers from her that his video game world is about to be completely destroyed by Taika Waititi. This is yet another movie that was supposed to come out last year in 2020, but got pushed to 2021 because of the pandemic, and I was pretty bummed about that because I was really impressed by the trailers for this movie. This trailer looked really good. It looked like it was going to be action-packed. It looked like it was going to be really funny. I like Ryan Reynolds. We all know from Deadpool and from a few other movies that he could be a really funny guy, and he's a very talented actor. Honestly, I had a pretty strong reaction from the trailer and all the other promotional material that we got leading up to the film's release. I had no reason to believe that this movie was going to be anything less than good. That's how much I was impressed by the trailers and the TV spots, especially the trailer showing the big buff version of Ryan Reynolds that's eventually in the movie. That's not a spoiler. He's in one of the trailers, So I had no reason to believe that this film was going to be anything less than good. I saw some of the early previews and reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Everything seemed positive for the most part, which got me even more excited for the movie. And I was surprised to find out that leaving the theater, I said this to myself, and I still think this now, this film is a contender for my favorite movie of the year. This film really surprised me, despite the fact that I kind of figured this movie was going to be good based on the reaction, but it still surprised me. This film was great. I knew right off the bat before even seeing the movie that Ryan Reynolds was going to be really good and really funny in the movie. The action was going to be entertaining, and I was going to be somewhat invested in the story. I knew I was going to get all that going into the movie because, like I said, I was very impressed with all the promotional stuff that came out. What surprised me the most about this movie is how much invested I was in it, despite it being a pretty silly concept. And the fact that the film has a lot of heart to it and it tugged with my emotions a little bit. I was so invested with these characters, and even the normal human characters, not the video game characters, but the normal human characters, I liked them too. They didn't seem like they were second rate to Ryan Reynolds or anything like that. They were very likable, very well written, and I cared about them. That's what surprised me the most. I knew the action was going to be good. I knew it was going to be fun. I knew it was going to be somewhat funny. I kind of figured we were going to get some Disney-owned references, which I'm not going to spoil, but we do get a couple of them. I knew that stuff was going to be fun and entertaining, and of course Ryan Reynolds. But the fact of how much invested I was in this movie, that's what surprised me the most. I even really enjoyed Taika Waititi as the villain. He was funny, he was threatening, he was someone you don't want to mess with. Like, if you piss him off in any way, or if you say something that might make him upset, he doesn't react well to it, and he was great. Taika Waititi has really grown on me ever since I saw Thor Ragnarok. He's a great director, a great actor, a great comedian, and I'm glad he was in this movie. Now, like I said earlier, to me, this film has a pretty silly concept, and so the humor is very on point in this movie. To me, there wasn't a joke that didn't get at least a chuckle out of me. And the film's kind of self-aware of itself, too, and self-aware of consumerisms and other things that I don't really want to get into because then I can dive accidentally into spoiler territory, and I don't want to spoil anything in this movie. As spoiler-free as I can put it, there's good commentary in this movie on putting out sequels to certain things and putting out original ideas, and how sometimes an original idea can work out much better than just a cash grab sequel, which I thought was pretty funny that Disney was okay with doing that in their movie because they have been guilty of doing that so much recently. And my evidence for that is their live action remakes. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Mulan, The Lion King were all pretty much cash grabs. I know they have their fans, but let's be real, guys. Those films were nothing but cash grabs. Why take the story of The Lion King or Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast and do something new, different, and original with it when we can just rehash the same story over again and it'll make a shit ton of money? And it worked. And this film, Free Guy, doesn't comment on those movies, but it comments on something like that in general, which I thought was pretty well done, and like I said, I thought it was surprising and pretty funny that Disney would do something like that. And something little I want to point out, this is something I don't really mention too much in my reviews, and I really should focus on this more because it is a big important thing in movies, but the music was so good in this movie. I was noticing close to halfway through, I was like, this soundtrack is pretty good, and it got even better as the film went along. I kind of want to listen to it now that I've seen the movie more. Like, it's a really good soundtrack. If you see the movie, really pay attention to the music. It really impressed me. So the action was extremely entertaining. Ryan Reynolds and everyone else in the movie, they gave excellent performances. The only performance I was a little concerned about was the guy that plays Ryan Reynolds' best friend in the movie. I don't know the actor's name, but I had a slight sense that he would kind of become the Jar Jar Binks of this movie. Thankfully, he wasn't. He was really funny, really likable, and kind of sweet at a few times. So great performances all around, and like I said, a great level of heart and emotion in this movie. This film actually got me choked up and teary-eyed in a couple places, which I did not expect from this movie. I thought I was just gonna go into this movie and laugh, be entertained by some of the action, and just say, yeah, it was pretty good. It's a Blu-ray purchase, a B+, A- type thing. No, there were some times in this movie where I got teary-eyed from a sweet moment that would happen, or I was literally leaning in my chair because I was curious and so invested on what was going on that I wanted to see what was going to happen. It hooked me in. It was investing, which was so refreshing to see a big budget movie like this that just sucked me in, because quite a bit of the big budget movies this year, at least, while I enjoyed most of them, they're pretty run-of-the-mill. Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, Black Widow, The Jungle Cruise, F9. I enjoyed those movies, and I had fun with a lot of those movies, and I definitely recommend checking out those movies. But after a while, they started to, for me at least, to be following a certain formula, especially Black Widow. And it's just like, I don't remember them, so to speak. I mean, I remember seeing them and I remember what happens in them, but they didn't leave an impact or an impression on me. This film does, and I think it's because it's not based on any comic book or a previous movie or a book in general or any video game or anything like that. It's a new world with new characters that was well written, well directed, and just completely different than what Disney wants to put out now. Because, again, run-of-the-mill a lot of times, and they do a lot of adaptations of previous things that people love. And I actually want to see a sequel to this movie. I wouldn't mind this movie becoming another film franchise as long as it's well written and well directed. Hell, I wouldn't even mind playing a video game based on this movie, because it is a video game movie technically. This film really surprised me. Again, it was so refreshing to see a big budget movie like this just completely wipe away my expectations and give me way more than I thought it was going to be. I really don't have any flaws with it. Pretty much everything worked for me. I'm sure if I really think about it, I can find some nitpicky stuff like here and there, but the rest of it is so damn good, I don't care. To me, Free Guy is Oscar worthy. I'm surprised to say that, but happy to say that at the same time. I'm so glad this wasn't just a bland, run-of-the-mill cash grab that Disney put out. They got a good writer, good director, great talent all around, and gave us a new action comedy classic, in my opinion. I can see this movie becoming a classic 20-some years from now or whatever. So guys, that's my review for Free Guy. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I obviously recommend it. But if you have seen the movie, then let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section. And are you hoping we get a sequel to this? Because like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel. I want to see more of this world with these characters, as long as it's well written and well directed. Whatever your thoughts on everything is, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, guys, thank you again as always for watching. I got more videos I want to do very soon, so look forward to that. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and share it. Subscribe right here if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, take care.